So, Advocate Teffo was on McG's podcast and came out or dropped some quite revelations. One of which he named the supplier of substance that cannot be named as, hey, did I say? I almost said something powerful here. Former Gauteng Provincial Commissioner is or was, I don't know, I think it is a supplier of the that cannot be named, the substance. Well, speaking about the substance, remember that General Mkhwanazi had said that there is a collaboration between law enforcers, judicial, and many more who are in charge of this. So when Teffo said that, I kind of felt like, hey, but Teffo takes it even a bit, high when he said there was a time where a national commissioner and the police minister were fighting for a cargo of the very same substance that cannot be named, that cargo that landed in Durban. Hey, I'm like, ha. Those are, Vele kwalumala. When Teffo speaks, vele kwalumala. Okay. He then speaks about politicians that made his life very much difficult. So we'll talk about that. So let me bring everything together. And Teffo says this man, he's not necessarily a drug dealer, but rather a supplier. So it means he works for somebody. So who is that person that is working for? Is he working for the cartel? I don't know. But he works for somebody that I do know based on what Teffo had said. Now, speaking about what Teffo had said, let's start from Teffo, Advocate Teffo, where he speaks about the fact that there's this former commissioner that is selling or supplying substance that cannot be named here.
All right. Okay. Yes. People who are my enemies now, it's the former provincial commissioner of Gauteng, Lieutenant General Elias Mawela.
Why is he your enemy? Or why do you regard him as your enemy?
Yes, because I know that when Ndanda talking about the drug cartels in Gauteng, Lieutenant General Mawela is the one supplying the drugs in Gauteng. Yes. Yes. So that is the cause of enmity, because now what? I know, talk about the general in Gauteng, I know each and every skeleton within his or her cupboard. Some, they just don't have the smaller skeleton. Actually, they are, the gorilla skeleton. They are different. They are different in size.
So it's him.
Yes.
Who else? Who else is your enemy?
So, Mawela, this issue of me being struck off the road is the thing that brought by Mawela. I didn't take. I've got the one of the document here.
You need your bag?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, that I'll show you. It says.
No, I'll get your bag.
All right. Yeah. No, I want to, because I'm a pragmatic person. I'm practical. I'm not a theoretical person. You see.
So you've got proof of the drug allegation you just made, because that's a very
serious allegation.
serious and dangerous statement to make.
I know.
To label somebody
Yes.
a drug dealer on
No, the drug supplier, not
a drug supplier. What's the difference?
Yeah. The dealer is dealer and supplier, ne? When you supply, you receive something from somewhere. okay, and then you distribute in your area.
So is that the dealer or the supplier?
And the dealer, no, this one is a supplier.
So you're accusing him of that?
He's a supplier. Yes. I'm not accusing him of that. I know him is doing that.
Okay, so now that we have heard or listened to Advocate Teffo telling us about a whole former police commissioner, okay. So it then takes me to this part where I am now remembering that General Mkhwanazi had spoken about the collaboration of law enforcers, Metropolis, SAPS, judicial, magistrates, prosecutors. The list goes on and on. So, if you listen to Teffo, it kind of like he's giving meat to this.
In the year 2024, a request was received from Gauteng Organized Crime Investigating Unit to assist with the investigation to dismantle the organized crime syndicate that was operating in Gauteng, that was controlled in Gauteng but operating in the rest of the country and in neighboring countries. I, as a provincial commissioner, took a decision to deploy 10 members from this political killings task team to go and support this organized crime unit in Gauteng. I can tell South Africans that this decision was a cause for the disbandment letter of this team, because they overstepped their mandate of only focusing in KZN. They went to support Gauteng organized crime unit with the dismantling of a criminal syndicate. And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and correctional services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng. This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country.
So, again, having listened to Mkhwanazi, you then get a sense that, okay, not only is Advocate Teffo giving meat to what I've just told you, but it continues, the issue of substance that cannot be named continue to be a topic in town. Now, let me remind you something. I did an episode. In that episode, I was speaking about the fact that the episode is named The Underworld Boss. Go and watch that episode. In that episode, I spoke about the fact that in 2021, July, there was a drug bust of 200 million worth of cocaine in Joburg. Down in Durban, same year, 2021, but now on the weekend of the 5th towards the 8th, to the 8th of November, a cocaine worth of 200 million was stolen in police facility, specifically the Hawks. We did that episode coming from, or having been done by Daily Maverick, we did that. So you get the sense that there is this, there's this contention around the substance that cannot be named. Do you get it? I don't know if you see that there is a special focus around the substance that cannot be named, even within police. Now, he then tell us about the fact that there was a cargo that landed. It was coming from South America, and we know there are two countries that have been accused of substance that cannot be named. It's Colombia and Brazil. Most of the time in South Africa, when you hear the substance that cannot be named, most of the time it comes from Brazil. So it means that that cargo was coming from Brazil. Therefore, spoke about the cargo here.
There was a war between the Minister of Police and the National Commissioner of Police before the current one. Yeah. So let me talk about the version. Let me give you the scenario of that before the name can be attached, if they are going to be attached. Okay. So it was in 2019. The cargo was intercepted at the port of entry in Durban. This cargo was from South America. So there's a container that had the drugs. See? So now, having been intercepted, interception, I mean, the police busted it. Yeah. And then it was among the things that have to be offloaded in Durban Harbour. So now that cargo, it now happened to be known, it was reported now to the minister, to the National Commission. So it started the tug of war. Because now the minister and the National Commissioner started to fight over the cargo, the possession of the cargo, the drugs. You see? So minister knew first, and minister sent his people to go and take the cargo and put it somewhere else. You see? And then the National Commissioner knew that minister sent his people to go and take the cargo, they put it somewhere. And then minister wanted National Commissioner, no about that. Started to, hey, mister, why did you do that? You are not responsible for the operation. I am responsible for the operation as the National Commissioner. Yeah. So you are responsible for the policies. You see? Why? The cargoes and everything, you are not supposed to interfere in that. No, that one, he said, no, you can go to hell. You should not take it.
Somebody once spoke about the fact that this country is a movie.
South Africa is a movie. We live in a drama. It's a series. Every day you will be shocked by something new. We have even forgotten what shocked us 2 weeks ago.
Maybe we should come to the watch party. I don't know. Don't know if I want to come to the watch party. Because then if I'm on the watch party, it means that I'm sitting there doing nothing about the problem. But anyway, we get the point that the person was making when he says, this country is a movie. We get the point that he was making. And we'll never misunderstand the point. Now, nonetheless, let me now ask you this question. Teffo spoke about the fact that there are politicians that are involved in making sure that he does not get back. Now, part of the people that were named, the name of president of the EFF, Julius Malema, was thrown in. Now, EFF have, in fact, specifically EFF member Usna Otambo, have said something about that and said, no, we defended Teffo. Okay, no problem. That's what he said. I want to firstly insert the video where he spoke about the fact that, yeah, he was in prison and the people that made his life hell of a life includes politicians. Well, I've said it before, politicians cannot be trusted. But yeah, it's fine. Let's listen to Teffo here.
Now, what happens in relation to that, when I pressed this, the acting head of the president to tell me, who are those people? He told me straight. And I don't even having any, I will not beat around the bush to mention their name as he mentioned. And I understand why. Because I even opened the case against those people before I went to jail. You see, he said, talk about the Minister of Police, for which I know, to speak it clearly. The Minister of Correction Service and Constitution. By that time, the prisons and the justice were held by one minister, which happened to be Ronald Lamola. Yes. And the president of the EFF, Sello Julius Malema. These are the three people that made my life difficult and wanted me to be in jail. That's why I spent 17 months. Yes. So now, like I'm saying.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Just so we.
Oh, right. So I'm going to give you a letter now. So Snao Tambo posted a letter. In this letter, he is basically proving that the EFF stood by Teffo. And I'm going to say something after we read the letter from the EFF. There's something that I'm going to show you which is hypocritical from the EFF. Let's start here. The letter is dated Friday, 2nd September 2022. The Economic Freedom Fighter EFF has noted the frivolous case of defamation, crimen injuria, supposed defeating the ends of justice, opened against Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema by attention-seeking advocate Teffo, providing the Commander-in-Chief proving the Commander-in-Chief assertion that nothing but the truth. Therefore, has opened a case against the president of the EFF because he has uncomfortable desire to be in the news cycle. Therefore, is an embarrassment to the legal profession because he has used the triggered of the late Bafana goalkeeper Senzo Meyiwa trial to build profile for himself, right? So here, basically, they were like Snao Tambo said, where is this tweet Snao Tambo with EFF? Ooh, guys, I made a mistake. I forgot I forgot to screenshot the tweet because there's hypocrisy that I wanted to show you from Snao Tambo. Yeah, I got the tweet. Now let's read the tweet. Let's read the tweet. Snao Tambo. After EFF defended advocate Teffo on the 29th of April 2022, when he was arrested in court for a pending warranty, Teffo's conduct in Senzo's case degenerated into a spiral. What followed were months of disrespect to the court, undermining the case, withdrawing from the case, and then saying he wants to return to the case with a list of conditions. It was on the 14th of July 2022 at an EFF press conference that CIC Julius Malema called him out for making mockery of the case of the slain Senzo Meyiwa, centering himself in the matter. Therefore, then opened a case of defamation against EFF president on the 2nd of September 2022. The statement below was a response. Time does not erase history and memory. Therefore, must not use Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's critical intervention on lawlessness in SA to settle a personal score. Okay, you know what? Here is what I wanted to show you. I get the EFF now saying this. There was a time where Julius Malema had said that Teffo is such a horrible lawyer that he will not even represent his chickens. Well, oh, some of you you forget. Okay, it's fine. Oh, let me remind you. If you want to see that, go on an episode called on a channel called Nkululeko and Culture. Search for an episode ga advocate Teffo. On that episode, they played the clip, only the audio, where Julius Malema said his chickens cannot even be represented by Teffo, right? So if at the beginning EFF believed that Teffo was the right lawyer, when did it change now? And when did he change and become a bad lawyer that now, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying somehow the EFF itself, they are so hypocritical on this matter. So, nah, guys, nah. You know, I would have understood if maybe the EFF was arguing something else, but We heard Julius Malema himself. He said it. We've got it on record where he's saying that Teffo is such a horrible lawyer, right? And so to argue that things spiral out of control because of what, blah, blah, blah. At least if then previously you had acknowledged him as a good lawyer and maybe you pointed out that here he is wrong. But the presentation made by the CIC, it was that Teffo is a horrible lawyer. It ends there. So it never distinguished between Teffo that is now doing things wrong and Teffo that once did things right. It never distinguished. It just said you are a horrible lawyer. Full stop. So it's like me saying to Advocate Mshololo today, you are a horrible lawyer, without maybe saying that I disagree with this specific behavior. And I'll give an example about that. I once said something to Advocate to Mnisi and said, I disagree with Mnisi's whatever Mnisi was saying, that he's not ready, he does not have an accurate number of the pages. And 3, I said that as a professional, at least you must have a date. You can't say you will live in a space of a vacuum where you will be ready when you are ready. There's no such a thing. You can't just be ready when you are ready. Give us a date and say, okay, at this date I will be ready, because you are a professional, and people who are professional understands what I'm saying, unless we are not a professional. But people who are professional in whatever faculty, whatever field, they understand. There's no way a professional will say, we will build a house, we don't know when it's going to end. They will give you a date and say, this is a date that we estimate. Most of the time they will give you a date that is maybe, if they know that we are most likely to finish the project on October, they will say the end of November or beginning of December, we will be ready, so that they can give themselves time in between. But that is not what Mnisi was saying. So I disagreed with him on that, but I never said he is a bad lawyer just because I disagreed with him. So if you compare what I've just said versus what Advocate Teffo, CIC was saying about Advocate Teffo, it's a complete different picture. You just said the man is horrible. So when did he become horrible? When you were defending him before, was he not horrible? You know, such. So I know a lot of people, they don't want us to say anything bad about EFF because we need to go and ask permission from them. You know what I'm saying? But funny enough, they have a right to say anything bad about all other leaders of political parties. So that's a dilemma that we are facing here, because I know I can even tell you the comments that I'm about to have. So okay, yeah, that's it from my side. Let me read you these comments here. Uti omunye look, Advocate Teffo is not lying. Ask yourself why the SAPS never destroys drugs like they do with alcohol. You know, this comment, it got into me here. It got into me that, hey, I've never seen the police destroying. I've never seen police destroying alcohol the same way they do when they destroy, or look, when it comes to drugs. You know, I've never seen them doing that. Uthi omunye Advocate Teffo says former Minister Pegicele was part of the drug cartel in Johannesburg. Yo, man is dropping bomb. Somebody then said that just in Advocate Malisela Teffo has made a shocking claim on the latest episode of Podcast and Chill, which is currently airing, alleging that the former Gauteng Police Commissioner Lieutenant Elias Mawela is a supplier of drugs in the province. Yeah. Okay, Ashland. Advocate Teffo alleges that the head of the correctional facility called him to his office during his imprisonment and offered him 45 million to drop the Senzo Meyiwa case and concentrate on his career. Some people don't believe that, but I can tell you now, and I'm telling you for free. There's a lot of money in the Senzo Meyiwa trial that is being thrown around. We are not joking when we say to you, these people are willing to pay most people to help them in terms of that. At some point, we reported or we told you that there were people who were paid on Facebook to say things on Facebook. I mean, on Twitter. Do you think we're just making? Do you think we're just making it up? Hey, do you think that some of the people that are speaking, maybe including me, I'm not sure. Do you think that we were never offered money? How do we know that there's money on the trial? It's just that some of us have got morals, and so we wouldn't take this money that tomorrow will be a cause of your problems. But how do we know that there's money on the trial? It's because that money has been offered. We have to say no. So do it on your own peril to think that it's a lie that Teffo was offered money. Let me leave it there. I don't want to say much. Advocate Teffo says about 11 people have died because of the Senzo Meyiwa case. Even he is now in the line of danger. I won't die. If they want me dead, they must ask God first. He broke down in tears, revealing his father died while he was arrested. His father or brother while he was arrested. Okay. He then says, highly ranked people are involved in the Senzo Meyiwa case. I was once offered 14 million to stay silent. They even offer me 100 million. That's how deep the cover-up goes. You may want to ask a question. Where are they getting this money? Just does that question. Where are they getting this money? You know, when if you can connect that, you will be the smartest person. If you can connect where they're getting this money, hey. But I'll give you an idea. I'll give you an idea. There are silent people that are involved in this trial, right? Very powerful people. One of the powerful person that is involved here apparently Senzo Meyiwa stumbled upon certain information that one of the most powerful person is selling substance that cannot be named. In other words, it's part of the cartel. A most powerful person. And there's a theory that the reason Senzo is dead, it is because he was going to expose that person. That person cannot afford to be exposed. He will do anything and everything to protect his name and dignity. And it's a person that you all respect. And you wouldn't think he's part and parcel of this. But that person, there has been allegation long ago that he's part and parcel of people that are selling substance that cannot be named. Other words, the cartel. Here's a question. Where do you think they get this money from? Done. Let me continue. Julius Malema has robbed Senzo Meyiwa justice by expressing no sympathy on the abuse that Advocate Teffo was being subjected to. The national convener of Meyiwa Africa, Floyd Chivambo, is correct that the EFF is not capable of delivering a just society. Julius protected by General Smith. Advocate Teffo alleges that former Minister Mkhwanazi is a supplier of the substance that cannot be named. Advocate Teffo says that the defense lawyers are in agreement with legal aid to continue with the case until the accused are found guilty. Yeah. By the way, the trial will begin next week, Monday. Let me check. I'm just confirming the date. Monday. What's the date? Monday. Bongs. Yes, 21st. The trial will be back next week, Monday. Advocate Melissa Teffo claimed that on McG Podcast and Chill that Senzo Meyiwa's death was not a robbery, but an accidental shooting by Kelly Kumalo during a heated moment at her house. The question that you need to ask is, what does the state say? Does the state say it's contractual killing or a robbery gone wrong? Just ask yourself that question. You know, it's so sad that the whole investigators who are claimed to have credible what, they are giving us two versions about that. But let's proceed reading comments. Advocate therefore alleges that on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed, Longo Twala was allegedly under the influence of drugs. Longo was upset and thought Zandile Kumalo is a girlfriend. Zandile Kumalo, his girlfriend at the time, had been involved with some of Senzo Meyiwa's friends. Okay. Amunye uti. Advocate therefore claims accused number 2 had a solid alibi, but he had no lobola letter, no images of the event, no evidence on the loan he claimed he made on with Capitec. If he had an alibi, his lawyers should bring such proof. Hi guys, there's a conflict that is happening, and somebody asked a very valid question. Since when does McG release an episode in the morning? Just because they heard that Tsegimazwai was going to drop her episode first, now they think that they have a right. Tsegimazwai responded, I can assure you, I'm not McG and McG is not me. Our content won't be the same, so you can watch both. Okay? Then somebody says, Advocate therefore putting his life on the line. Underworld gangs, they have no mercy. Anything can happen to him. McG decided to upload this episode so early in the morning so that it can go viral. Okay, and then you get omunye uti podcast wars. At podcast with McG, did Ntsigimazwai dirty? Since when does McG drop an episode at 10 a.m.? I am look at it, a.m. instead of 3 p.m. The insult will fly soon because of this advocate therefore interviews. This red race among podcasters to be first is very funny. Speaking about being first and first, I don't know what's the fussy about that. I don't know what. I'll give an example. I had an opportunity to be the one sitting down with advocate therefore, but I'm busy, so I don't have a problem with that. And even when Tsegimazwai was on her way to record that therefore, look, we spoke. I didn't have a problem with her doing that, and I even told her, no, I don't have a problem. Go do your thing. I don't have a problem with you doing anything with therefore. So I don't understand why people are fighting. Like honestly, guys, I don't understand. When Tsugi was calling me about that, I said, hey, I'm doing this interview, Bongs. I was like, no, you know what? Do your thing. And I'm saying today, even from the bottom of my heart is clean. Let them do interviews. I mean, come on, I can still interview therefore, even if they did. But I don't like this thing of us competing. I mean, come on. I don't understand this thing of content creators fighting over these things. It's not right. Like, really, guys, it's not. I'm making an example about myself with this interview that therefore should have been the one who have done it. But I was like, man, guys, do it, man. I don't have a problem at all. Like, zero. I'm surprised. Why? Let me leave it. But I don't like this thing of people fighting over content. I can interview therefore and do it differently and get something that nobody else got. You understand? All it takes is just for me to listen to McG and listen to Tsegimazwai and listen thoroughly at what questions they were asking, how therefore answer those questions, and then formulate my own strategy to get something out of therefore that nobody else, nobody covered between the two. So why are we fighting over this? I don't like this thing. Advocate, therefore, allegedly, the firearm used to shoot Senzo Meyiwa is illegal to Chico, but actually belongs to Chico's half-brother, Advocate Baloyi, who is actively working on the case. The same is said about Teffo's death. No, guys, this is too much. To those who doesn't know, therefore, the Teffo is the child of Advocate Baloyi that died in a painful way. Nonetheless, let's get into this one again. So somebody says, Malisela Teffo struck off advocate lost legal battles. 2021 SAPS suspension upheld. Pop crew versus wind safety. J 4 August 2011. 2022 disband of misconduct. LPC versus Teffo. And then 2023 contempt 12 a.m. suspended. Appeal failed. I don't understand this person. What was this person doing? Basically, this person was just discrediting Teffo by all means necessary. Let me not continue, but let me end this episode here. For me, I just wish everybody will have the maturity to understand that the sky is too big that we can all thrive. There's no need for me to want to outcompete you. We can all thrive and be equal. As for Teffo, yeah, he drops names. I just wish and hope that he remains safe.